Download the Pod TV app to catch your favorite shows like Smoke A Lot Radio, The Connected Experience, On the Line, The Gangsta Chronicles, and Doggy Diamonds No Filter, uncut and raw, unscripted. Remember, it's the Pod TV app, you heard?
You tune in to Gangsta Chronicles.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangsta Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the J's.
Yeah, I started really spread my wings, you know what I'm saying, entrepreneurial, wise.
So you kind of start gravitating more towards that in the music. I assume once you
I was still doing the music. Yeah, I was still doing the music. I was doing everything, because you got to think that's what P modeled for me, to have these multiple revenue streams. That's the thing I learned from P was work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never just had one thing. Think about it. When No Limit was at his peak, he had toys, he had shoes, he had speakers, he had all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what was modeled for me. So that's what I emulated in my own way. So I had the records, I had a business in Atlanta, I had real estate in Atlanta, I had the properties, and again, I'm like 21. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you just kept the party going with the real estate then.
Yeah.
And then eventually started getting this. See, this is my whole thing with real estate, right? It's a slow grind, like you said at first. You get a house, you know what I'm saying? You charging $1,000 for rent. Your mortgage might be $950 a month or whatever like that.
Yeah,
and
that's here though.
Yeah,
that's here. Yeah.
But no, not you can't get no shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like this is not a cash flow type state because it's so expensive. So
yeah, that's what I was saying. California is hard, so I'm just telling the listeners out there, everybody not gonna have the same success that he had, because the Midwest some different shit.
Yeah, you got to do it in the South and Midwest.
Yeah,
that shit.
Because you can go to, like, I'll take you some shit now in Ohio. You can go get a house for $5,000.
Yeah,
you had to put a lot of shit into it to make it be a land with a foundation on it.
Because this the thing, still when I did that, I moved out here when I was 23, you know what I'm saying? And I moved to Brentwood, you know what I mean? Right there on Barrington and Sunset. And it was a culture shock for me, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, the rent over there, I was paying like $4,000 a month for a 2-bedroom, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just came from a townhouse, you know what I'm saying, with 3 floors and 6 bedrooms and shit. I was paying $1,500, you know what I mean, in Kansas City. Yeah. But it was a trip, because when I went to go buy my first house, I was looking in Brentwood, and I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying? That shit in Brentwood was like $4-5 million for a teardown. So I ended up moving to Encino, and I tripped on that because the first house I bought in Encino was like $1 million. You know what I mean? And I was like, fuck, like, shit, 20 of my properties in Kansas City is this one house. You know what I mean? So it's like the cost of living I had to adjust to, you know what I'm saying, coming out here. And then that's when I seen that I can't do that real estate shit out here. Out here, this is a flipping city. You know what I mean? You just buy low, get a good deal, and then flip that shit.
Yeah, that's what I was going back to. I said, man, it's a little bit easier, you know what I'm saying, in the other states to do shit, but this shit's so expensive out here, man.
It's super expensive out here, bro, you know. And then that's when I started getting into producing movies and shit like that. Then I start, you know what I mean, using my money to do that.
Oh, for sure. So you jumped all the way in the movie game. What's some of the projects you did?
Shit, the first movie I did, I spent like $300,000 on my own money. It was a movie I did with me and Cat Williams and Lawrence Hill Jacobs called Young American Gangsters. And that was just some shit I just tried. I moved out here and I started like auditioning for shit, you know what I mean? I started doing a bunch of independent movies and just kind of learning what they do and how they do what they do and asking questions and shit. And then once I started learning more, I was like, shit, I can do this shit. I got the money to do this shit.
So you just put up your own 300 stacks
Put
and
up
just
my
said,
own
fuck
three.
it, man.
Man, listen, dog, I'm young, you know what I'm saying, dumb. I didn't even have an exit strategy, you know what I'm saying? I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
How did that work out?
It worked out barely. So I end up, my co-producer Ken that came with me, he took me to Cannes, to France, to Nice, to the Cannes Film Festival. So I flew way over there to get distribution for my movie. And I got distribution with a company literally around the corner from my house.
That's crazy. So you flew to France?
I flew all the way to France
to go some niggas that's around the corner from you.
Yeah, I got fucked on that movie too because, you know, I was, you know, I thought like a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? So they gave me a little bit over what I spent on it, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm finna go do another one. You know what I'm saying? Man, them people probably made $3, $4, $5 million off that movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, man. I learned. That's why you got to educate yourself to what you're doing. And I was chasing money because I had a, you know, drug dealer mentality. But that's what I learned. Like, you got to do shit that you love and shit that you know, move with purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime you chasing money, you're going to fail at the shit. You know, chasing money only applies in the street because that's all it is. But when you start wanting to build things and get into things, you got to really love what you're doing because you're going to put in the time to master it and it'll be successful.
Exactly.
So it was kind of a failure, but at the same time, it was a lesson, you know. So
you got your money. You got your money back. That could have went a lot worse.
Yeah.
You could have not got your bread back.
I wasn't even tripping. That I was getting it like that. I wasn't even tripping. That 300 wasn't nothing at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, because I was literally in my living room watching myself. Like, you know, I'm feeling myself. Like, yeah, me and Cat on. Then it dawned on me, like, boy, how you gonna get your money out of this? I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? None. And, you know, that's why you got to study what it is you're trying to do. Educate yourself.
So, you know, you made them mistakes that were, you know, them early on
I
mistakes.
made a lot of them. Yeah.
You know, what was the first move you made outside of the real estate that was like pretty much that home run when you was like, okay, I get it now, this is what's cracking?
Man, that's a good question, Steele. I don't know that I necessarily had one, to be very honest. I think I just start knowing how to move different and more efficient with what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I've made money come and go, but I think, it's just learning how to, I always say you live life long enough, it'll teach you how to live. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just learning and paying attention to the lessons and the failures that I had, you know what I'm saying? And doing better, just doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
me and James was talking about that earlier, and I was telling him, I said, man, whenever I would hit a lick on somebody and get that money, it seemed like that money would just go like fast, like it would almost like disappear in your pockets, kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it don't have no value. But if I went to work for my uncle or something, and he built houses back then, if I went to work for him in the summer for a week to get them $100 for them school clothes or whatever, it seemed like I held on to that money. I might not buy them Levi's. I can't get no T-shirt. I gotta, you know, we gotta go to Kmart.
Yeah, you appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? You appreciate it a little bit more. And I think it's the same thing, like you said, you had the drug dealer mentality. You just used to just hitting the.
But you know what? I worked hard for that shit. I don't know who said that hustling was easy, because it wasn't, and not how I was doing it. You know, it was a lot of logistics and shit and headache and stress that went with it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it wasn't easy by any, you know. And then again, I had other businesses that I was running, even with the real estate. I created. Just by default, I had created a property management company because I had all those properties, and because I had moved to LA, and you know, I would meet different investors that also had properties in my city, and they would ask me like, "Man, you got an air conditioner dude? Man, you got a plumber?" You know, so it dawned on me like, "Oh shit, I'm from there, so I have a network there." So I got a couple chicks, and I created a property management company, which, you know, that company even now to this day, you know, we manage like $15 million worth of assets. And that was just me on some hustle shit. I just seen an opportunity like, oh shit, you ain't got an air conditioner dude? Oh, you don't either? How many properties you got? You got 40. Yeah, don't worry about it. I got an air conditioner dude. Yeah, I was lying at first. Like, yeah, man, I got a whole company. We got people that'll handle that for you. Mm-hmm. So at some point I had to structure it correctly. But, you know, it's just, you know, like P would always say, man, to start a good business, you know, you find a problem, you know what I'm saying? And then you present the solution. So, you know, that was just by chance, you know. So that's another thing that I had got into. But man, it's just paying attention to the opportunity, man, and not being scared to try some shit. You know what I mean? Like I ain't never been scared to put up my own money or try something or fail. You know what I mean? That's just part of the process.
Yeah, you gotta be willing to take. You gotta be willing to take risk, and you a dude, man, pretty much that come from the same environment as a lot of us, you know. So it could have went either way.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it could have went either way because Kansas City is a motherfucker, dog. Kansas City got some shit going on out there.
Yeah, bro. I wasn't that good. I mean, I don't take the credit like that. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of people praying for me, to be honest with you. You know, I wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? Like just super smart and just super. You know what I mean? I mean, I did everything I could to try to make it, but. You know, there's a lot of people praying for me, you know what I'm saying? Honestly. And then too, you know, my old lady, man, you know, that I think having a good woman in your corner, you know what I'm saying, and keeps you grounded and kind of balances you off, that had a lot to do with it too. You know what I mean? Cause she, you know, I had kids early. You know, like I said, my daughter 28. You know, I had my daughter when I was 16. You know what I mean? So I kind of had to step up to the plate early in life. You know, I went to jail at 15, then I got a child at 16. So while I'm doing all of that, even with P and real estate, I got a whole fucking family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you had to make some shit shake.
Yeah, and behind closed doors, I'm working on being a man. You know what I'm saying? I may have seemed poised and all of that shit, but behind closed doors, nigga, I'm trying to figure it out. Because I didn't grow up with my father. The state made me go live with my father. I hadn't had a relationship with him really up to that point. So we like two niggas just living in the house. You know what I'm saying?
So when did you figure out you was a man? Because I tell everybody I didn't figure out I was a man until I was in my 50s. 47.
I'm going to tell you, I know exactly, James. That's a good question. I'll tell you exactly when I knew. I had moved to L.A., I had went back to Kansas City one time. I was with my brother who does real estate. He the one that actually kind of taught me. And now, mind you, I'm my only child. It's my half brother. I didn't meet him till I was like 15, 16. So now he a square dude, you know what I mean? I was on his porch of one of his properties and somebody broke into it. He was passing his cards out to the neighbors. And so he's a square dude. He was just like, hey, if y'all see somebody messing with the property, call the police or call me. The dude, so there's a dude next door, some young niggas. This nigga, I'm on the porch, literally like, man, I'm thinking to myself, man, my brother need to hurry up. I gotta go. Nigga next door literally looks at me and says, nigga, what the fuck you looking at? I looked over my shoulder like, who you talking to? He was like, nigga, y'all think somebody broke in your shit? Nigga, ain't nobody. He just started tripping. So, you know, I got my thing on me, you know what I mean? So I hop off the porch and I go walk up on him. I said, little nigga, who the fuck you talking to? You know? And he was like, nah, I'm just saying, y'all woo, 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 woo. So at that moment, I said, listen, bro, I said, man, my brother owns a insurance company. Like, he not tripping like that. And I said, and dog, you hear your mama right here, your family right here? Like, you don't know what I'm on. And I'm saying that to say, I start kind of chastising him respectfully, and I didn't respond how I would have responded years earlier, because I didn't care that if he thought I was a bitch ass nigga, hoe ass nigga. I didn't even care about that. So after I told him, I raised up my shirt and said, bro, you're not even doing it right. Like, you trying to be tough and shit. Like, you don't even know who you talking to. I raised up my shirt and showed him, you know, like, nigga, you out here just being tough. You know what I mean? And I told him, I said, dog, you know, the cemetery full of tough niggas. You know what I'm saying? The penitentiary full of tough niggas, too. They had to show them niggas what time it was. So it's a lose-lose situation. But he act like he never been talked to like that before. He apologized. Gave me, you know, dap and said, man, my bad, big homie, boy. You know how it is out here. So when I walked away from that situation, I said, damn. I said, I finally grew up.
Right.
I finally grew up. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't care whether he thought I was a hoe ass nigga. I didn't care whether he thought. I told him that. I said, dog, I don't care if you say I'm a bitch or whatever you gonna say about me, dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with you. This is just a misunderstanding, you know. And I say that I was about 25, 26. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's when I hit adulthood right then.